right. What up? What up? My name is Jonathan D'Angelo, aka Johnny D, and you are tuned into the first Blurred View session. I am here with my girl, Kitty Kaboom. And what are you cosplayed as? Should I be offended?
No, you shouldn't be offended. If anything, if you are a Pop Team Epic fan, you'll get the joke. I'm like half-ass wearing my PPME Pop Team Epic cosplay today for this interview because I had so much fun in it, during WonderCon. I just felt like I had to put it on again. So yeah, I'm wearing PPME. Pop Team Epic was pretty big in Japan. It still is. It's getting bigger and bigger. It started off as a manga and then got really, really popular. It's about two chibi little schoolgirls, the ones with big old eyes. If you've seen all those memes on the internet, and two girls flipping, everybody off, that's them. So
yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that. I've definitely seen that, and I was like, yeah. So not gonna, yeah. You appreciate the education because there are people who don't know. So let's get down to the basics. So where are you from? Where are you from?
I am from LA, born and raised.
Where in LA? Where in LA?
Like LA, born in like the Queen of Angels Hospital, LA, like legit Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. When I say LA, I mean LA.
so like, go ahead.
Like downtown, smack in the middle, downtown LA.
Oh, okay, bet. So like Lakers or Clippers?
It's Lakers. It's Lakers.
Okay, good. I'd hate to have
Lakers and now, okay, nobody get mad. Okay, I don't want to do the sports debate, but it's Lakers. All right, it's Lakers and it's also Warriors. Okay, so just everybody calm down. I have family up north. I work up north too. You end up going to games, your company ends up, letting you guys get tickets to go to games, and then you end up liking a whole different team, and it's not your fault. So I can like two teams.
No.
Basketball and
No. I get it. Because I'm a Lakers fan. I'm a diehard Lakers fan. My mom told me that if we weren't Lakers fans, she would spank us and banish us from the house. So I've been a Lakers fan since birth. But I do go for Golden State simply because they're winning and the Lakers are rebuilding. So I don't play 2K, but I bought the limited edition Kobe Bryant 2K when he retired just because it's Lakers, it's Kobe, and it's legacy. So I'm not even mad at you. But you said two football teams. So who are your two football teams?
Oh no, I'm sorry. Baseball and basketball. Like I'm not into football that much. But like baseball, it's Dodgers and Giants. Yes, I like the whole California teams. We don't have to segregate and do half and half. Like I appreciate them. So yes, Giants and Dodgers, and I used to be a very, very big Dodgers fan, and it was because my grandpa, he loved his Los Toyers. You grow up and watch him play, watch him, sit in his little old cute man chair with his little chihuahua and watch his Dodger games, like every Sunday when we go visit, and that like I grew up with that, and then sadly he passed away a while back, and I'm waiting for the Dodgers to actually win a World Series because there was one Star Wars event that they did there, and I dressed up and I was on the field watching the fireworks show. They let everybody go on the field who paid for the Star Wars ticket. It was really cool. And I grabbed some dirt from I was kind of in between second and third base. So I grabbed some dirt in between, the bases, and I'm waiting for them to win a World Series so I can put that dirt on my grandpa's grave and be like, hey, they finally did it. So, so love the Dodgers because, there's family tied to it.
Yeah, definitely.
And the Giants, I love those idiots because, for the past 6-7 years, I've been a fan of them. The essence of teamwork and all the characters they are. Swear to God, you can make an anime off of them. Seriously. Sports animes, you could do an anime based off, the Giants about 5 years ago. With, Morris and Panda and everybody on the team. It would be, a great anime. be, the sports anime. So, but yeah. So, baseball, basketball. I love all California teams.
Ladies and gentlemen, your girl is versatile. I like that. So how old are you?
That is actually really funny you bring that up. It is an online mystery. Everybody has been wanting to know how old I am, and nobody knows really the correct age except like me and my dog and my cat, and, my mom and dad, and that's about it. But everybody else, I can't say because it's still an ongoing game. Like, one of my best friends Googled my name and was like, Kitty Kaboom, pictures. Kitty Kaboom, social media. Kitty Kaboom's age. That was the third thing looked up. When I'm like, wow, y'all are stalkers out there. Calm your stuff. Does it matter? Jesus.
I'm not gonna lie, I Googled the same thing and could not find it, and I was like, you're the only cosplayer to not have an age. That is, and you know what? Hey, it is what it is. The immortal Kitty Kaboom.
I'm freaking immortal. I've been called a vampire so much. Like, it's just whatever. I'm up there. Like, I learned from Keanu Reeves, it's a secret society. I can't say anymore. You guys stop asking about it. We're not going to tell you. If you ever watch Bleach, I'm like Shinigami gods. We're a couple thousand years old. I'll leave it at that.
you and Cutie Pie Sensei are the ones that like people are like, how old are these people? Like, what's going on? So yeah, well, it's not out there, and you're not gonna get it from the blurred view. But I tried. I tried. I couldn't get it. I tried.
Sorry.
So
maybe if someone cuts me like a fat ass check, I'll say it. But whatever. Just kidding. I wouldn't do it for a few million either. I love this game. I just want it to be like a mystery.
That's never ever post birthday photos. Somebody's gonna snitch on that cake one day. Somebody's gonna rat you out.
Well, see, the thing is that with my cakes, like, my cakes are usually memes. So, like, this year, it was Uganda Knuckles Super Saiyan on my cake. So, with a whole bunch of memes.
What? So so you have.
This is what I do. I throw off the interviewers, okay?
You have cake. Yeah, meme cakes. You have meme cakes as birthday cakes.
Yeah. Yes, or I put like a bunch of my favorite anime figures all over the cakes. Like last year, it was like Ken Masters doing a Shoryuken. So, and like year before that, it was just like a bunch of figures. Usually, like my favorite like characters I've cosplayed are on the cake. Let me see if I have my Uganda Knuckles cake picture real quick to show you. But it said like I had a joint birthday with a homegirl who's in the FGC as well.
Mm-hmm.
She came down from like Oregon because she wanted a party, and we had like a badass cake and all this funny stuff, and the cake was just, I'm like, since we called it our fusion birthday party, so I needed something Dragon Ball fusion related on the cake, and since everybody loved Dewey cake, so we had a. I know someone's tagged me in a photo. Hold on here. But yeah, I wrote a bunch of like little meme bubbles and stuff, and we put it all over the cake. Like, Kitty and Sarah are queens, are the queen, and they know the way, and all this other shit. So yeah, here's a good one. I don't know if you can see it, but there's me and my Colleen cosplay, and oh god, you can't see it because of reflections.
Yeah. Well, I'll get it from
Instagram. Trust me, it's there anyways, but it's hilarious.
I'll pull it off your Instagram and post it on the page, and maybe I don't know, maybe we'll have you walk in front of a mirror and see if your true age shows.
That is why you don't see mirrors anymore.
I noticed that. I noticed the King of Fighters and like the the Power Girl and no mirrors, and I'm like, how? It's a woman lives there and there's not one mirror. We're gonna.
Yes, it's a body positivity. Don't have mirrors anywhere. There you go.
So what got you first? What made you a nerd? Like everybody has something. Everybody has that one TV show, that one comic, that one person. What got you into being a nerd in general? Like what was that spark that lit the flame?
Okay, like honestly, I look back at my life as a kid and it's just like shit. I was like raised Japanese because we're part Japanese in my family. Very small part, but it's there, whatever. Lots of divorces and things. Anyway, so I was raised very Japanese. Grew up eating miso soup and rice balls. That like my dad taught me how to make and stuff from his friends, and he grew up in Okinawa for a while, so he kind of had that in him already, and just kind of like it trickled down to me and my sister. But I always watched anime and did not realize it was anime growing up. And not only that, we always had video games in the house. Okay, like dad had an Atari, dad had, there was always Nintendo, there was always Sega Genesis, everything we had, it just, I grew up basically playing and loving video games and all these video game characters.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then fighting games, Street Fighter comes out, and then you got Chun-Li, and then SNK comes out, and you got like Final Fight and Fatal Fury and Terry and Mai, and then Darkstalkers comes out, and I have Morgan and Felicia. So I end up playing all these female video game characters that I'm just in love with because they're so different and unique, and nothing is like that. At that point in time, it was am I gonna play with some My Little Ponies? Or which I did anyways, and then it's like, or Barbies? Am I gonna play with Barbies and like makeup? Or do I wanna watch anime and, like idolize these badass chicks fighting? So, I kind of, again, did a little bit of the same, but then everything started leaning towards video games. So that's what started it. It was video games and then fighting games.
Okay.
And then all of these characters from either Capcom side or SNK's side that, again, were just amazing because in the US, watching, cartoons, our superheroes back then, yeah, we had X-Men. Okay, X-Men were cool. But there wasn't really, much else. So then there are all these, like, unique fighting game characters that do all these special moves. They're normal people, but they can do cool shit. So it's just like, oh my god, I want to be that, instead of a mutant shark or something riding around on a motorcycle. But I can actually be like cool martial artist.
Hold on, pause. So you're not gonna diss Street Sharks. That's what you're not gonna do. All right, you're not gonna diss Street Sharks.
I'm just saying, like, can I relate more to a street shark or can I relate more to like the video game characters I'm playing?
All I'm saying is two things. One, I need you not to respect street sharks or biker mice from Mars. All right? I need you not to disrespect them.
That was the second thing you were gonna say.
Also, I just for the record want to show that she remembers both of those, which means she is at least 28 years old. 20, yeah, we'll say she's about 20. She's about 21, but 24-ish. We're getting somewhere. We're getting there. I revealed what she knows.
I'm not gonna play the guessing game, but here's the funny thing.
Go ahead.
I have an older sibling.
Ah, so you cheated.
I didn't say I cheated. But
all right.
Age, and you keep trying to ruin my Google search that I'm so proud of.
Yo, MamaCon tickets to the person who can get Kitty Kaboom's age. MamaCon tickets. MamaCon tickets to the person who can get her age. There will be a manhunt.
Like borderline and salty. You need to be throwing out like E3 tickets or like San Diego Comic-Con tickets for this.
Oh, what?
Number two, for the viewer's sake. And number two, no.
I'm gonna start a nerd internet witch hunt over manga tickets.
I really feel like we should be having beers right now because this interview. I'm like, my coffee's not cutting it now.
Okay.
You are ridiculous. Love it. This is the best interview ever.
So we know what got you into being a nerd. All right, we know what got you into being a nerd.
Yes.
What got you into cosplay? Was it the badass females and you wanted to dress like them and look like them? And what was that?
Okay, it was them and it was all the anime growing up.
Got you.
You know, watching Dragon Ball Z, waking up at like 5:30 in the morning to catch like uncut clips of Dragon Ball Z on Telemundo. You know, they had Dragon Ball Zeta, and you know, it was like totally uncut violence. So you know, woke up early for that. Seeing all these characters I love, you know, Sailor Moon and Gundams and Dragon Ball and all this, like, plus, you know, Morgan Felicia, all that stuff. I just wanted to start dressing up as these characters I loved from all these video games and like my favorite animes. So that's kind of what did it, you know.
So what is?
I got tired of dressing up as Disney princesses for Halloween. I was just like, this shit's boring.
Oh,
I'm over it. I'm over.
Yeah, I definitely feel you on that. So what's your favorite cosplay that you made? Like, what's and this is coming from a fan actually. This question. So what's your favorite cosplay that you made so far?
I don't have one because there are so many of my cosplays I've done, and it's just like they're my favorites for different things.
So give me
like example. My Final Fantasy Tifa cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
I met Stephen Chow in that. Okay, and he literally made the bouncer who was trying to shoo me away because the bouncer thought I was taking too long talking to him, but he was the one asking me questions. Like, was trying to like, okay, the line needs to move, and Stephen Chow just straight went, "I'm talking with her. Give us a second. You know what? Come sit by me." And he pulls up his freaking chair right next to him at his booth, you know, where he's doing this signing, and he has me sit right next to him, and we exchange information because, like, I gave him some of my martial art pictures and stuff I had. I told him I do martial arts, I do, like, you know, filming and, you know, a little bit of stunt acting, and he's like, okay, this is my producer. I want you to give him your address, your email, and your phone number.
Wow.
As, like... And then we traded pictures. I took a picture with him, and he's like, "Can I have one of your pictures?" And it was like me doing like a kung fu pose and like this badass martial arts outfit. I'll send you a pic of that too. And he kept one, and then he signed one for me. And then I have pictures of me and him in my Tifa Final Fantasy VII version, the right version. And we're together, and it's like, that is like the best memory I have as being Tifa. And then my Kingdom Hearts Leon cosplay with like my 6.5-foot giant gunblade prop. I have the best story of meeting Tetsuya Nomura in that costume and him signing my gunblade personally to me, drawing a little drawing on it for me, and I will like never forget the words he said to me. Like, he spotted me out in the crowd during G4 Video Game Awards, because me and a group of friends, like, we got hired to be at the G4 Awards for their first one. This was like in 2003. And he was there, and he was getting like best video game, you know, of the year for Kingdom Hearts. And at the after party, he looks at me and I look at him, and I about like lose all functions of my body because he's like, he looks at me and he goes, "You look like my Tifa."
Wow.
Tetsuya Nomura says I look like his Tifa,
wow.
which I have cosplayed. And I don't even know how I was able to speak words back to him. Like, thinking about it now, it's like, damn, I was like, I did not lose my shit. I was cool as a cucumber. Why can't I do that now? But, yeah, and then his entourage kept telling me, "Oh, kuchibiru, kuchibiru." They wanted me to give him a kiss on the cheek.
Mm-hmm.
So I gave him a kiss on the cheek, and I'm really mad I don't have that picture anymore. And like, I don't even talk to the people who probably have it. But oh my god, I got so much hate with all the fangirls, like, and other female cosplayers that night.
Wow.
And then a picture of all of us together with like my arm around Tetsuya or something, or like us really close together, came up and was printed in PlayStation Magazine from the event. So I really wish I had that magazine article too, but like, you know, it was hard to find back then. So this was like 2003.
Wow, that's incredible.
Again, it's like I have 7 or 8 cosplays that are my ultimate favorites because they have all these great memories tied in. And you know, this day and age, it's like half of those super famous people don't even go near the convention floor anymore because people are crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm like so lucky and fortunate to have those memories.
So how long? Okay, so since we don't have, I guess we don't have one good one. Well, one favorite. What I mean, how long does it take you on average to make a costume?
If it is like a normal costume like this, where it's a schoolgirl outfit with not much detail, maybe, you know, a slightly detailed prop or something, about 2-3 days. I can whip out something in 2 or 3 days, you know, because last minute half-ass con crunch. Where did time go? Oh my god, we got 4 days till the con. We got this bright idea to do this last minute cosplay. Let's do it. And then, whoop, you bust it out, you know? And a late night caffeine induced freaking work mode, and you get it done. So, but if I'm really putting like heart and soul and time into it, 2 to 3 weeks, constantly working on the costume. So I've never had, I'm sad to say I've never had a cosplay which has taken me a year to do or 6 months to do off and on. But then again, with so many cons I do and so many costumes I do, I don't want to take that long to, you know, make something. There are a few giant cosplays that I want to do in the future. It's just all space and money. So to make a full detailed costume, I want to make that I can finish under like 4 to 6 months. And would cost probably around $2,000 with all the lights and effects and props I want to make for it. It's just gonna be so giant. Like, I would probably, I'd say average if I wanted to do this special cosplay I've been dying to do for years, like probably about 4 months nonstop working on it till it was done. But I need a bigger house first.
Look, don't.
I need a bigger house to keep it in.
We all do. We all do. So
for the figure, for everything, like, need a bigger house.
Yeah, definitely. I don't even have my figures up because there's no room anywhere in my apartment to put these figures. And I have Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom, Sideshow, Emperor Palpatine from Return of the Jedi. Like, I have just so many. I have DC Comics stuff. I have my favorite comics. Stuff is everywhere. And I just threw it in a box.
Yeah, same. You just put it in the box, and then you end up building like this Tetris wall of figures. And then you're just like, you know, I'll get to these at some point of time. I just need to make space and room. And then you end up buying like 2 or 3 more figures throughout the year.
So what was here's a question. I don't know if you've ever been asked this, but here's an interesting question for you that I thought of 5 minutes before this. What was your first cosplay failure, if any? Like, what was the first cosplay that you actually were like, oh fuck? Like, or have you had any of those?
I think before I realized the word cosplay and was labeled a cosplayer, remember how I told you, like, I got tired of being Disney princesses for Halloween?
Yeah.
So I tried to be Sailor Pluto one year. I'm a kid. Okay, I'm a kid. I don't know how to sew. I don't know how the hell to make anything. You know, I'm like lost as all hell on what to do. My mom has friends that sew, but I showed them my Sailor Moon illustration books, and people look at those illustration books I would show them like if I was a little kid showing them porn. My God, like they're just like,
what?
These are girls. They're wearing this. You want to be this. Okay, I can't make that. And it's just like, so what do you do? So there's this stupid bathing suit shop in my town, and I went in there with my illustration books and with my little straight from Japan Sailor Pluto figure.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I want to be this. And they look at it and they're like, because they also sewed and made dance uniforms. So, for all dance troops in my area, that's where everybody got their costumes done. And, it's kind of like a leotard and stuff. So they made it for me. I did a bunch of chores, paid $75 to have it made. I can't believe I'm actually going to talk about this right now, but like for Sailor Pluto staff. Now remember, I'm a kid. I don't know what cosplay is. I don't know anything. So don't hold this against me. Like, I was just like, she has this big old staff. How am I going to make this staff? So since I was a little kid and, you're just looking around the house, scrounging around for stuff, I found like the cardboard tubes that are left over from Christmas wrapping paper. I'm done. We're done. No more questions. No more questions. I'm gonna be joking. Not quit. I'm done. I'm done. I'm out of here. Throw. Storm off stage. I'm done.
No. So okay. All right. Okay.
I don't want to tell the rest of the story.
Okay. No. Okay. Okay. Fine. Let me break even. So let me break even with you then. So when I was, hold on. So when I was a wee lad, all right, I had Harry Potter had just came out. Harry Potter was like the greatest thing ever. I read the books and like it was Sorcerer's Stone, and I was like, yeah, I'm so into this. Right, this is my first cosplay, and I was like, yeah, I'm so into this. And so I read Sorcerer's Stone, and I was like, Mom, I want to be Harry Potter for Halloween. Now, this was before the world was really accepting of diverse characters, and so of course I got like, well, you're black. How are you going to be Harry Potter? And I was like, well, I just wanted to be Harry Potter. So my mom was like, okay, she felt my struggle. She was like, all right, so no problem. So she went to the store and she bought me because she saw the cover of Sorcerer's Stone. So she was like, well, you have some busted shoes already in the closet. And she was, and she told me, she said, it's not hard for you to look homeless because you do it every time you walk out my house. And I was like, oh, so she, so I was like, okay. So I threw on some jeans and this ugly little sweater I had that actually was like red, yellow, ironically. And then she went to the store. She bought me glasses, and she took a Sharpie and she drew the lightning bolt on my forehead. She drew it on my forehead, and then she bought. She didn't buy the black robe. She mistake the Hogwarts robe on the cover of the book for a cape. So she bought me a Dracula cape, and I needed a broom to fly on, and so I wasn't supposed to do this. And needless to say, I got in so much trouble for this, but I took her broom, her kitchen broom at that, and I was like, that's going to be my broomstick. And so I went around the neighborhood trick-or-treating as Black Harry Potter, and I'm pretty sure I got spanked with the broom when she realized that I took it out the kitchen. But
enough time being Black Harry Potter, then she's gonna beat your ass for using a broom. This is ridiculous. But okay.
But yeah, I was so.
Well, it's still not as bad. At least your mom helped you. I was on my own making this. So okay, cardboard tubes, yes.
Yeah.
Glued them together.
Yeah.
Taped them together. painted it purple, you know, tried to do the heart cutout in cardboard too. Oh, it was horrible. And here's the bad part. Now remember, I paid money, good hard-earned chore money to get this made.
Absolutely.
So we go pick it up.
Yeah.
The dumb bitches didn't even make the gloves right.
Why they gotta be all that?
Because, like, I gave them detailed, step-by-step pictures of figure instructions, okay? They are full hand gloves.
Okay.
So why are you gonna give me the slutty ring gloves that start here, cheap asses? Okay, no. That's why I'm calling them dumb bitches. Slutty. It was that point in my life I realized I need to make my own shit from now on, because they made you know how the Sailor Moon skirt is in a V shape?
Yeah.
Okay, with the bodysuit?
Yeah.
They didn't do that. They made it flat all the way around. Oh. So it looked like I was like 4 feet with no fucking torso when I put it on. Okay, it looked like somebody had the figure and squished it down to like super deformed chibi size.
Oh no.
And it just looked, it looked horrific. I was so heartbroken. They didn't even make the bows right. Like, they didn't make the bow right here right on the sailor uniform or in the back. It was just, I'm like, I paid $75 for this.
Not the bow.
They ruined everything. It was like if the gloves weren't bad enough.
Not the bow.
It was horrible. The bows were ugly. They I don't know what they did. I think I still saved that outfit just to show people how bad it was. So, like, I need to dig it out again, and when I do cosplay panels, like, I need to hold it up and be like, don't be like these people. I want you to do better than this. I know you all can do better than this. Like, it was horrible.
So how old were you when you got this done?
I don't know. I was a kid.
Oh, almost. Almost.
No, you really hey, this interview is over.
Yo, I'm telling you, you see, you talk about giving away like E3 tickets. If I put out San Diego Comic-Con tickets for your age, people will be in your window at your door.
I don't think so. I think they're just have the internet, but like, yeah, just nobody's gonna know unless I say you're correct or not. And you know, you got to make sure it's people who don't personally know me, because I'm like, get the fuck out of here, you cheater.
So okay,
your dad E3 tickets. Yes, my friends are. They would rat me out in a minute.
So
like, your ass goes every year. We want to go finally. I'm ratting you out.
So
about time.
So that was your worst cosplay, was Sailor Pluto. Have you since been Sailor Pluto? Like, have you been Sailor Pluto since that?
Yes, I've done 2 alternate outfits of hers, but not that same one. I'm still waiting. Like, honestly, I think that shit scarred me so bad. Like, I have a lot of pressure to make it myself. So it's like 100% perfect and like can't be messed up. But yeah, no, Sailor Pluto was one of my favorite female characters. God, she was one of the original waifus that I had, because this is something I talked about in my last interview I had. Being a kid growing up, it was really hard to find female characters with tan skin.
Yeah, true. Definitely true.
And almost, you know, I looked up to Storm with my other homegirls, you know, growing up, and they loved her because, you know, there's a black female they can, like, look up to in X-Men. But again, for, you know, someone like me who's brown, tan skin, and different, you know, ethnicities put together, it's really hard, and it was always tiring. It was really, really tiring in, like, my favorite cartoons and stuff to always just see, you know, white female lead, you know? But at least, like, watching anime, you had all these different type of skin color characters. You know? It just wasn't always white skin. So I really respect and love anime for that reason. And then Disney caught on, you know, later on. But still just anime characters being my skin type, long ass hair, tan skin. I was just like, I am all about this right now. So, being able to have those types of characters made me really happy. And I'm really, really happy right now with Dragon Ball Super, for that matter, because I have tan skin female Saiyans. Holy shit, my life is good. Like, now I get to, cosplay these awesome girls. And now we have, like, female Saiyan characters, like, we could look up to. It's just not always dudes.
So on that subject then, what was the I guess we'll get back to cosplay in a minute. That's actually an important subject. What other than Storm? So like we're talking 90s here and you saw Storm on TV, so I feel like we're getting a little bit warmer. But
you also have to remember older siblings, older cousins, and being in a nerd family, like you're always watching stuff.
We're gonna get somewhere.
For crying out loud, cousins brought over like old school Astro Boy like cartoons, and we watched those, or Robotech. Okay, so we watched that. It's just I come from a very nerdy family, like family plus relatives. There are just so many nerds. So it's amazing.
So like, what was other than Storm then? What was the first female of color you saw on TV? What was the first female of color you saw on TV?
Well, besides Sailor Pluto, and I didn't really see her on TV till a long time after. Again, besides like Princess Jasmine and Esmeralda in Disney movies, there really wasn't that much going on American TV.
Mm-hmm.
So, but for anime, old school anime, when it started, like when I started to discover it and find it, God, I remember freaking watching, someone brought over during like a family get together, Bastard. And I saw Arshasne, and I'm just like, oh my God, there's this gorgeous elf girl and she's got tan skin and she's badass. And then one of my older cousins, he brought over a record of Lotus War, and I saw Puritas. And I'm just like, oh my God,
Talk about old school.
I come from a family of nerds where everyone's like, hey, check this out, and whenever there's like a family get together, we're all watching this stuff. But honestly, God, as I can't even remember really the first one, but I do remember the two that like always stay in my mind was Felicia, and Sailor Pluto, and then later on just a bunch of other characters. Yeah. But those were like two big ones.
Because I know for me it was for me.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard when you think about it.
Yeah. It was Mr. Popo on Dragon Ball, and I was like, it was a little weird. And then it was
Meg.
Yeah, I was like, and then it was and it really wasn't, because see, just like you, I watched anime and didn't know it was anime. So I had the Dragon Ball, and I had Cowboy Bebop, I had Outlaw Star, Big O on Adult Swim, I had
tan skin, so that was cool. Yeah,
but
I was happy about that.
But I didn't see a black character on television like who was the main character until Static. It was Static. That was the one for me. It was Static.
Such a damn good show.
Yeah,
I love. Oh my God, like that the whole kids WG, like they were so ahead of their time. They really were.
Definitely, and that's what really, it was Static, and then Green Lantern when Justice League came out, and then oh man, I can't think of it because the only other black character superhero that I really saw, I always assumed that Beast from X-Men was black just for association purposes, because he's not a white character, so he's something other than white. And then Spider-Man had Blade on it for like 2 seconds. Yeah, so it was, but it's really hard to find characters of color, representation like that.
It is. It was, it was a problem, and that's why I relate with so many of my friends when I talk to them about this. Is like, we loved all these characters, but until this one special character popped in, that's what kind of like set it off for us. So, and I was just gonna ask you in anime, like, do you even remember, first black character you saw in an anime?
Yeah, it was definitely Mr. Popo from Dragon Ball. That was like the first one I remember. Everybody else was kind of more like a, like an extra or like a side. Yeah, more like an extra. So yeah, it was.
I never actually really thought of him as being black. I just thought of him as a genie. So, but I'll tell you, one of my favorite black characters of all time in any anime is fucking Bob from Tenjo Tenge. Babu. He is. Have you watched Tenjo Tenge? If you haven't,
I have. I've heard of it.
Oh shit! You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it for Babu. You have to. He's a badass.
Okay, I gotta put that on my list.
He's like secondary. Like he's always around the main character. They're like best friends. Okay. So and he's a badass fighter. His girlfriend's hilarious. Like you'll really like that. So definitely, he's a good character, and I think you would appreciate him. No. Very much.
I'm gonna have to write it down. Definitely, there's a lot of anime I gotta catch up on, and I'm not just.
I'll send you the link.
Just like you're not gonna admit your age, I'm not gonna admit the anime that I've actually lapsed on. So I'm ashamed. So I'm not even gonna like. Okay. Yeah. So we'll on that right now. We'll agree to disagree on that right now.
We're even right now.
But if you go on my personal page, you'll see me asking questions about a particular anime, and people will be like, "How have you never seen that?" And I'll be like, "I just need a link, guys."
Stalking.
Wow, he's gonna rat me out? Alright, bet.
I'm just like curious to know what it is now.
Oh no, I'm ashamed. I'm so ashamed. I'm so ashamed. But what was the what's the motivation that keeps you cosplaying? What keeps you in the game?
Right now? First of all, I love it so much I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. Number two, when I was growing up in this cosplay world, it was so much better. It was so different. It was like, it's not the clusterfuck that it sadly has become right now. And right now, my main goal is to kind of get cosplay back to that golden age, the good parts of the golden age where, there was like, it's like they say in Pirates of the Caribbean, we have rules, or kind of like guidelines.
Yeah.
Everybody just kind of threw that out the door around 2009, and it just became a clusterfuck, and like everybody was calling everything cosplay when it really wasn't. So it's just like, okay, you guys calm down. Like this is what it is. This is what it has been for 20 years. You're supposed to follow these rules. And everyone's like, nope, doing my own thing. And unfortunately now there's a little bit too much sex-based cosplay, and it kind of cheapened the craft that we've worked so hard all these years to, make better and refine our work, get more experience, more detail throughout life. And a lot of girls nowadays feel they need a shit ton of plastic surgery and silicone injections and everything else in and out of their body to cosplay.
Now not to interject, that's actually something that most people don't know. Most people don't realize that. I mean, you don't just see it in the booty club. Like, women actually do prosthetics when it comes to cosplay. A lot of people don't realize that.
Prosthetics are fine. If you're trying to look like a character that has G-sized titties and you don't have G-sized titties, the next best thing are ginormous push-up bras and like those fake boobies they sell, like those chest pieces. And if you can make that work and put it in such a way that it looks real and you match up your skin tone right and everything with them, that's a good cosplay. Like, you took the time to do everything to look like that character.
But you know girls who actually get injections for cosplay.
yes, they get boob jobs, plastic surgery in their face, bigger butts, ribs removed, all sorts of stuff, freezing their fat, taking their fat here, putting it there. Like, and I have 14-year-olds and 13-year-olds up to, early 20s girls coming up to me that look up to me when I like go as a cosplay guest, out of state to other cons. Mm-hmm. And I do panels and, I'm there at my booth and they're just like, I've been thinking about getting a boob job. Will that help my cosplay? And my message to all these young girls is the way you're going to get noticed is by being yourself, letting yourself shine through your work. It's more about how well you perceive this character by creating everything, your own. Because back in the day, being a popular cosplayer is you won a bunch of awards, mm-hmm. like first place, best of show awards. You were always seen in competitions and masquerade and stuff doing like a skit. And it was like how well you became that character from head to toe, all the work you did. If you made your wig, if you did your makeup right, if you made your shoes, if you made everything, perfect and you were acting like them and talking like them and you literally brought that character to life, that's, how you became a popular cosplayer, you really brought it to life. Holy crap, put a smile on someone's face. And that's what I love doing it. I love the reactions I get from people. But for these girls, I want them to go back to that, mm-hmm. I want them to be able to have confidence in themselves because let's face it, nowadays, everyone is so afraid to go outside and say hello to somebody. People lack the self-confidence, and the self-esteem to like go out there and be themselves. So I try my hardest to let them be strong and brave because of them, not what size boobs you have, but, who you are as a person, as an individual. So that's kind of the thing that I'm trying to do right now is to make sure to inspire as many of this younger generation of nerds in cosplay to just, basically be yourselves, have fun with it, make as much as you can, challenge yourself to, make even more, don't try to just buy everything online. It's fine if you're a fan and that's what you want to do, but if you come into a masquerade competition I'm judging and I see everything is store-bought head to toe, you're not going to get points for it.
Definitely.
We have craftsmanship awards for that, and that's kind of what it's about. So, and I'm really glad that I've done this and been able to talk to so many girls and kids about this in cosplay because I see their progress on Facebook of what they're doing. Like after I've told them, to try this out and try that out and just be yourselves, they're taking more selfies. They feel more confident. They're practicing more with makeup. They're learning how to do better detail in making a costume. And they're showing me progression pictures for the next con I'm going to be at and judging the contest. So, I can see their work and their progression throughout. And that's like why I'm a big reason of why I'm doing it right now. It's because I hate this, but everybody calls me this. So I've just kind of accepted it. I have now become a cosplay mom.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they all call me mom. There are some that I just love to death, and I've told them that I've adopted them, and they'll like come from like New Mexico and visit over here, and I'll take them around. And some of them that want to come and see the garment district in LA, and shop where all the good cheap fabric is. So it's just like I'm cosplay mom. I'm the one like telling them, now, sweetie, go get your wig from over here because it's cheaper than over here. And, I don't even know how it happened, but it just did. I guess I have like that second nature of being like a mom. I want to like protect all the little ones. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, rather, okay, so I get that. Rather you be a role model to these young cosplayers coming up, somebody that give them direction. Because I agree with you. I remember when cosplay was about the art, it was about the craft, it was about like being the character.
Yeah.
It was almost like theater. It was, you would go to a
Yes.
Comic-Con. Yeah, you go to a Comic-Con, you go to an event, and you see Batman, and they would be the Batman. They would be
Yes.
Son Goku.
Look.
And so
Yes.
a lot of and not to bash, not at all, but a lot of women will cosplay, and I talk about this all the time to my friends. I'll be like, a lot of women will go and they'll be Wonder Woman, and then there'll be sexy Wonder Woman, and then you'll see 6 dozen photos of like half naked pictures, and then you'll see like, I don't know, Zero Suit Samus, and then Sexy Samus, and then another 6 dozen half naked photos. And it's like, I do agree with you in a sense that it does take away from the game, because are you cosplaying or are you trying to be a model? Because there's a line and a difference. Because yes, you can model while
Yes.
cosplaying, but they're not the same thing. But
Yeah, I wish a lot of girls would keep it separate and not call it cosplaying, especially when next thing you know they're completely nude with a wig on, calling themselves this certain character, and then doing like dirty ass porn shit, and saying it's a cosplay set for sale on Patreon. Like, and this is where I'm telling you, this is why it's become such a clusterfuck, because where's the border? Where's the line gone? And a lot of people are like, well, in Japan they had cosplay, porn in Japan. I'm like, no, stop. They had porn stars dressed up as certain hentai porn characters.
mm-hmm.
Okay,
I was
all
14
right. Like,
once.
I'll go back to say this. There was La Blue Girl, the hentai. There's La Blue Girl, the live action. Are they cosplayers? No. Was this an anime? No, it's a hentai.
Mm-hmm.
Is this girl cosplayer? No, she was a porn star paid to wear an outfit. Okay, so Japan had that gray area line bordered off.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, okay, this is it. But now, because everybody, a lot of females who call themselves cosplayers, but they don't make anything, they just buy it,
Mm-hmm.
and then they turn it slutty, and then they sell themselves for quick cash. And that's the kind of the issue that really needs to stop, because it's funny we're talking about this, because here's the thing that really bothers me. From all these females doing this, now the thirsty creepers of the internet think every cosplayer is like this.
Mm-hmm. True.
So that they are now being predators, looking through, creeping through all the cosplayers they follow on Facebook, looking at all their friends and friends of friends, and this is a complete open source for them. So when I get creepy ass mothers that are asking me for nasty, fetish stuff because they're so obsessed with the character I'm cosplaying, I don't need that. It's harassment, it's creepy, and I tell them all the time, I'm a cosplayer, not a fetish model. Go somewhere else. And I have one guy who's been like harassing me for months now about my feet, and he wants me to do all these gross videos and stuff, and I'm like, no. Here's the thing. I am a female samurai. My honor and my rules and morals are like all the way up here.
Mm-hmm.
They cannot be touched. You trying to bribe me for a couple $100? Are you freaking kidding me? Yeah, you can give me a couple $100 and like I will drop kick your ass, because that's all you're gonna get. But seriously, it's like I need the girls in this newer generation to realize to be strong against these creepy ass people, because if they're bothering me, they've gone through my friend list. Now they're bothering my 16-year-olds that I'm trying to protect and look up, that look up to me.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so now there's like this Spider-Man great responsibility that I feel because, you know, I want to make sure nothing happens to these cosplayers who are my friends now, who, you know, I'm a role model to, and they're getting all these creepy bastards, you know, trying to push them for, you know, easy money. Because the guy who's been harassing me, like, he just, you know, it's been a few months and he's just like, okay, $1,000 for a video of your feet and socks and stuff. And I'm like, no.
What?
No chance.
What?
I'm like, no chance. And then he goes, but I'm really desperate for this. Please, you know, you're the best blank blank cosplayer there is, and I just really want, you know, a cosplay of this. It's just like, you know, again, and this is the issue. I'm a cosplayer and that's it, you know? Just because I cosplay doesn't mean I'm gonna like do dirty porn nasty ass shit for you.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
And because of all this nonsense, you know, everybody calling it cosplay and it just being a hot mess and a cluster, like, we're now getting these people. You know, they, instead of them being on their fetish websites, now they're coming to cosplayers because it's cheaper. They feel like they can, you know, use them and bribe them. And, you know, now some poor girl got, you know, swindled thinking that this was a good idea somehow because, you know, no parents are there to guide her, and like now she's just pulled herself short for some dude, and now there's, you know, video of her doing whatever they asked.
Yeah, definitely.
For what, a couple $100, and you sold yourself out for that, you know. So this is where I want it to stop, and this is where like I want it to try to like kind of go back to that good old age that we remember cosplay was fun. And like, and it wasn't a fetish and it wasn't like, you know, porn based. It was good old cosplay. So hopefully we can get back to that. So that's my goal.
So why do you feel like, so, and it is the thing, there's always been a stigma with male nerds, right? There's always been, well, a stigma with with nerd females too. So the thing, the stigma is that nerd females don't exist. Y'all are like unicorns. And then male nerds never get any play. So it's like, why do you think these women target cosplay knowing their audience is going to be nerds? Do you think that maybe logic, you know, maybe they're thinking, well, you know, he's a nerd, he's not going to get any more play, so maybe I could bring his attention to me?
I think it's all a manipulation factor. So yeah, I think that's what it is. Give me 1 second. Hold on.
Absolutely.
Oh, excuse me, I need to grab a hitbox. Plug, hitboxes. Hitbox, give us free stuff. Okay.
I second the free stuff. I definitely play Injustice.
I always do that because, like, I don't know if you watch Rick and Morty, but when he's going on that Nintendo DS rant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then he's like, Nintendo, give us free stuff, you know, so I always do that. Because, like, if I'm going to talk about your product, I'm going to ask you to give me free stuff if I'm going to do it for free.
Definitely. No, I agree. Shoot. I play fighting games, too.
Well, here's the thing. I think with going back to the subject, it is a manipulation issue and subject. Again, people, like I was saying, people are so they're so set in their room, in their own online world. They lack self-confidence, you know, and self-esteem. You know, they really just don't know how to socially interact in the world, and when they do, they come out socially awkward. So I think for a lot of guys out there, which the internet does call thirsty, for all the nerds out there, is that these thirsty dudes are just running to these chicks and throwing all this money just to talk to them, like you and I are talking over Skype and stuff, for, you know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. Here's a couple more hundred. Here's a couple more hundred. Oh, okay, here's my boobs, you know.
Yeah.
And that's, they get off on that thrill. It's like a dog chasing a car, you know. It's all about the chase, but when he gets to the car and it finally stops, he doesn't know how to fucking drive it. So it's kind of, I think that's what it is, and girls realize that. And I've always been a person and a cosplayer, like I'm saying, female samurai. I'm not going to manipulate a lonely person, you know, just to get money out of them.
Yeah.
I'm so against that. Like, I'm here for people to talk to, if you can have the guts to just come and talk to me at a con and you want to support me and buy a picture, awesome. But, you know, and again, these girls are like, oh, I won't smile in any of the photos that I take with you unless you're one of my Patreon, you know, subscribers, or they, you know, these whack ass rules they have. Or I take a picture with you unless you give me $20 and you follow me on Patreon. Like, that's not what any of this is about. And, you know, y'all just need to stop and figure out what you can do for a job and keep cosplay as your hobby. Because let's face it, your work is not gonna last forever.
True.
You're going to age. Those silicone titties are gonna sag. You know, your skin is gonna not be able to hold them up.
Not the saggy nipples. Not the saggy nipples.
So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Are you know, I was lucky throughout cosplay, and yeah, it killed my popularity for a long time because I had to work.
Yeah.
So, you know, I had to work and do stuff, but I'm glad that at least I can, you know, say that I am a freelancer, and the freelancing I've done for the past few, 3-4 years is at Apple headquarters. And that has paid for me to cosplay like constantly the last 3 or 4 years. So, okay, I got my side hustle. And that's, you know, and I'm glad that I don't have to, you know, degrade myself to such levels just to be able to cosplay. And I want girls out there to be above that too. You know, girls and guys, it's the same. I want everybody to not degrade themselves just for cosplay, because let's face it, whenever and if ever your cosplay popularity dies, what are you going to do? What do you have to fall back on besides the boyfriend that pays for everything?
Oh.
You know? And when he gets tired of your shit, if he ever gets tired of your shit and dumps you, or, you know, makes you get a job, what are you going to do? What do you have on your resume besides cosplay?
Wow.
And this is what I tell people. Thanks to cosplay, I've been able to have so many opportunities and doors open for me. I've filmed in Hollywood. I've modeled. I've been in magazines. I've been on TV. Okay, I was on G4 TV so many times. You know, I have all these great credentials of, you know, acting and stunt acting. And not only that, let's get into the industry market of it. I now work with awesome people like Alex Valle at Wednesday Night Fights, or Jabali, who runs, you know, CEO and CEO Otaku. I made sure, like, through cosplay, I was able to build business relations, not just with popular cosplayers, the companies that the characters I'm cosplaying are coming from. You know, I'm making sure to talk to them. Capcom, Funimation, you know, you need to market yourself in such a respectful way that you're able to make these good connections and then kind of make a job from it. So if you needed to, you know, if you needed to, if, you know, I could do PR or marketing for, you know, so-and-so, or, you know, that you have to, I want people, and I tell the kids this too, that look up to me, like, start realizing what you like doing while you're cosplaying. Start trying to build connections with the companies. So, you know, most old school cosplayers that I know, they work for Square Enix. They work for Capcom. They're game developers. You know, they have some sort of job. You know, if they did Photoshop for their own pictures back in the day and learned, like, old school Photoshop, now they're doing, like, graphic design. So you always got to make sure you have a fallback.
So do you feel like... I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I was going to say, for me, I'm really good at creating, working with my hands. So I became a product stylist. And that's what I do my freelancing for. All the hardware and, you know, techware, all the third-party products that come in for Apple, because I have, an eye for detail and I pay attention to it, I'm there making sure the product looks perfect. There's no dust on it, no fingerprints, for a phone case or a new phone or something. And, I'm styling it, and I work with a photographer, learning photography. And then, you end up seeing my work on the website.
So are you gonna recreate headphones for the Apple? Because aren't you guys lacking headphones?
I'm not part of making it. I'm just part of making it look good.
Oh, okay.
I'm not there. I'm just after they're done making it, we take it into a room and we make it look prettier.
So do you feel like, okay, so you network, and this probably be this will be my last question, and then I'm gonna have to get you back on the show so we can talk about the other half of you, which is gaming. We're gonna have to do that in another episode, definitely. But
I definitely don't mind. I enjoy talking with you. What interview? I thought we were just hanging out.
Good. That's the point. That's the point. But so, do you feel like? Final thought. Do you feel like you say you use cosplay, use your craft, use your art to network? And I know you said you were recognized by a lot of infamous people within the nerd community for your cosplays, a lot of big names. Do you feel like the girls who do cosplay but then use it for those lewds and those Patreon accounts and the porn, do you feel like they're hindering their opportunities by doing so? Do you think that people actually go back and look and be like, well, I don't want to work with her because she's half naked 9 out of 10 times and I don't want that for my image? Like, do you think people actually look at that?
See, I know for a fact, a few years back, like 7, 8 years back, they did.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't work with cosplayers because they didn't want any kind of slutty girls lowering their, company name. And throughout those years from now to back then, there have been a lot of infamously popular, famous cosplayers that worked with these big companies. And because they just are kind of shit people, these companies don't want to work with them anymore. I have had Capcom tell me, well, we worked with so-and-so and she was really high maintenance and stuff, so we don't deal with cosplayers anymore, because of this or because of that. Like, I have heard this from many different companies. The last one I heard it from was Capcom last year during an Evo party. But, they don't want to work with cosplayers because a lot of these girls have attitudes. They act like famous celebrities or divas. They don't show up on time. They're not professional, and they've kind of ruined it for anybody else who, wants to represent this company, as a model or, a professional cosplayer because of this stuff. So, it's become harder and harder for, big companies to, and a lot of companies, it's sad to say, especially in the video game world, they have cut back on costs. They lay off people left and right. They're trying to save money. So definitely, a lot of the time, they don't want to pay for a cosplayer, pay for their hotel, pay for their badge, to have them be standing around taking pictures at a booth.
Yeah.
So, definitely. Yeah. If anything, nowadays, because of the nonsense that happened and the bad experiences with, famous cosplayers and these companies, they don't want to work with cosplayers anymore. So, it's really tough. And if they do, you're not going to get paid. You probably won't even get a hotel room unless they really like you or somebody. You'll get a badge, and they'll want you to work the floor from open to close for like 2 out of the 3 days. And then if you're lucky, you get like 1 day to run around yourself. So that's kind of the shit deal you get from doing that stuff now. Yeah. And again, this is one reason why everybody's doing lewds or nudes on their own in the privacy of their own home, because they're making more money instead of, working for a company. So I actually really would like to know if companies still care if they do porn or dirty things like that, if they look at that when, even conventions, because, I'll tell you this. I put in my application and a huge-ass resume of all the professional work I've done to try and be a cosplay guest at Kamehameha Con, which is the big Dragon Ball Con coming up in Texas.
Yeah. I know that's one of your goals.
It is. And, you know, I still haven't heard from him. But my best friend, Julian J., since he's Trunks in real life, I guess a few months back, someone from Funimation hit him up, and another person from Kamehameha Con hit him up. But, and I know one other guy who is like Goku in real life, kind of, and he's already going to be there because he works directly with Funimation to be at their booths. So good job for him. He did it right, you know, and he was a dude. So going up all against all the female competition, you know, that's hard to do. So him and Julian are doing it right, and you know, I respect that. But I haven't heard back from Kamehameha Con. Everyone was supposed to hear back from them if you made it or not April 2nd. So like every day I'm just like waiting, and I don't think they realized how many people probably were going to apply. Yeah. And again, even they stated that I think all they do is pay for your booth, and they don't give you hotel, or they don't give you, you know, flight out there. So that's really going to be tough for anybody who isn't already living in Texas, who is going to be a cosplay guest, you know, for the con, because we got, if they do say yes to me, it's going to be like $1,000 round trip ticket because it's so last minute. It's less than a month away, you know? So it's like stuff like this that gets really stressful, you know, when you're trying to get out there and trying to be like a cosplay guest and stuff, and, you know, things just aren't going well. So it's tricky. It's very tricky. And, you know, I hope to even just hear if I have like a yes or no from Kamehameha Con. Definitely. Because like I have everything right now like on hold. I'm just like waiting because, you know, this is going to be tricky.
Let's hope you make the list. So give us the upcoming projects. What are you doing? Give us the Twitter. Give us the Instagram. Give us the Snapchat. What's up with that? Give us the age. Okay. I'm just playing.
I don't do Snapchat. I don't do Snapchat or age. I don't know the stage. But no, I won't do Snapchat. I don't like dick pics. I just don't.
Yeah, you'll get those. You're right. Yeah, didn't think about that.
Yeah, I already get them enough, and I don't want them anymore. You know, that shit, like that shit. You send that shit to me, I'm like rolled up in a ball crying. You guys, you're mean. Don't bully me like that. No, online bullying. Whatever. Who knows if it's even yours or not? Just like Googling penises and freaking sending them. It's ridiculous. Anyway, enough about that. So Instagram is Kitty Kaboom, all one word, _. Twitter, Kitty Kaboom. That's 4 O's because there are like 30 other Kitty Kabooms, but mine's the one with 4 O's. And in all of my pictures right now, you're going to see me as Majin21. So white hair, pink skin, glasses, that's me. So you know you've got the right, like, Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. Facebook page is Go Kaboom. So if you want to like it, go on ahead. I think Facebook is dead, so I don't really care.
As we're filming on Facebook, she says this.
Well, I've never cared about having a bunch of Facebook page likes. That's just me. That's just me.
Understood.
You know, I can't believe Facebook tells me the truth, you know? and especially like last night I wrote a post saying I was sick, and sick off some like fast food I ate last night, and then all of a sudden Facebook's like, donate to sick charities. And always for yourself, Facebook. It's always about you, you know? It's always about you. So I stay off of it. But you know, I have a coffee account. That's where all my pictures go. If you guys want to see, that's the thing getting updated like a Facebook page all the time is my coffee account. It's just KO-FI facebook.com/Kitty Kaboom, you'll find me. And I have it posted on my Twitter and my Instagram as well. Those are like the main three I'm always on.
Okay, and we'll leave the descriptions. We'll leave the links in the descriptions after we post all these videos everywhere. But all right, sweetheart, we're gonna get out of here because we've been sitting here for an hour and 15 on some interesting subjects. I definitely got to get you back so we can talk about the gaming. Yes. Because you definitely posted some really good stuff about gaming on your page, and we need to get to that because that is also a really big topic, especially with all Ready Player One coming out and bringing awareness to gaming and how gaming's evolved. We're definitely going to get into that. Maybe we can get you back on the show next week, but I appreciate it. And this is Kitty Kaboom and Jonathan D'Angelo, aka Johnny D, signing off of Facebook. You guys have a nice day.